Good morning, guys. This is going to be a brand new Let's Play. I've had so much fun this morning. I've been messing around with Fraps, which I have just found out doesn't work with Windows 10. Anywho, I'm going to be using the default Windows record, and we're going to be playing a bit of Hearts of Iron 4. So let's see how this works. Starting a new game. Let's try a new one. Going to be starting in the 1936 start. This lets us try and build up to it before the war. I've played a couple of test games on this. I've tried France and Russia, and this one we're going to be playing as a bit of Brasilia. Brazil's kind of awesome. Let's just start that one. So basically, we're going to either want to get into being fascist or communist pretty much as soon as we possibly can, so we can declare a few wars. If we stayed like democratic, basically what's going to happen is we're just going to be absolutely screwed, and we want to attack people and grow. You've probably seen this start before. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go into basic machine tooling. This will increase our production efficiency cap for all our factories. At the moment they're capped at 50%, so you know, an extra 5% means we can go up to 55%, which, you know, it's pretty good and it does make a difference. We're also going to jump straight away into a bit of construction. This is going to increase our construction speed by 10%. So basically everything's going to build 10% faster, which is, you know, always good. As you can see, we've got some civilian factories. We currently have 7. Oh no, we're using 7 at the moment. We've got 11 available for construction, so always a good sign. And we're going to build a few more construction factories. And we're going to whack them down. One there, one there, one there, and one there. I'm going to build a couple of military factories. These are what you use to build like your units, so they're really kind of important. We're going to get lots more factories when we start conquering basically the South Americas, but you know, have one there, one there, one there, and one there. It's always good. Infrastructure is kind of important. Obviously this helps you pass like supplies around. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's infrastructure. We are wanting to get at least a little bit of infrastructure. We take it up to 3 in all of our provinces. That should do us to start with. One there as well. That's going to be our civilian factories sorted. At the moment we've got 3 military factories. We're currently producing basic infantry equipment, which is absolutely rubbish. We don't really want to be producing that. And support equipment, which we do. So we're going to be changing that basically to basic infantry equipment 1. So we're not going to be using these. These are like the old guns. But you know, we need to have them to start with. Our national focus, as I said, we're going to need to basically jump in right away, and we want to either be fascist or we're going to want to be communist. So we'll start with political effort. I get to starting. 3 dockyards. Oh, sorry. It's quite surprising. Let's build some convoy ships. Just keep building convoy ships. Build all the convoys. And we don't have any basic divisions in training. Let's have a look. We'll just quickly edit that. Sorry, I don't speak... is it Portuguese I speak in Brazil? Or Spanish? I believe it's Portuguese, but don't quote me on that. Infantry. Sorry, I can't even spell today. I'm still a bit flustered from doing the old Fraps malarkey, and this is a cavalry as well, so we're going to change that to... no, it's fine. Okay, so we're going to build some of these. Going to set our building location. Well, let's have it down here in Rio de Janeiro, and we're going to add some units. And we're going to build 10, but we only want them to build 1. So basically, this is going to build 10 of them. And while it would be better if we were like a huge country, this is our manpower cap. We have got the men for all these. They do require 8,300 manpower each. However, they also require infantry equipment. As you can see, it's 810 per unit. We have 9 at the moment. And support, sorry, I'm pointing at the screen. Obviously you guys can't see that. 30 infantry support equipment as well. So we're going to let those keep building, and we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, we're going to grab all of our men. No, we can't even do that. Thank you. So I'm just using the shift key there to hold down. and we're going to assign these guys into an army, and we're going to give them a front line with Uruguay, because they are getting eaten first. Our offensive line, basically, it's going to all be over when we eat there. Each of these places has victory points. All of these have no victory points on it, apart from the main city. And then we can see that the main city is 15. It should be anyway. No, sorry, 5. So this is going to give us 5 victory points when we conquer that. This is a really small country. If we move over to like Argentina, we can see there's like 1 victory point there, 1 victory point there. Nothing really up north. Oh no, there we go. There's 1. That's another 1. However, if we move down towards their capital, sorry, Buenos Aires, we can see that's worth 10. So basically, it all depends on the national unity of the country. As you can see, the national unity of this place is 70%. This means we need 70% of the total victory points to conquer and get them to capitulate, which is what we want. So we'll probably just push straight to Buenos Aires. So yeah, that's us done pretty much to start with. We're going to look on now. We are short of, let's have a look, we need 2 oil. However, I'm not willing to, oh no, we need 6 steel as well. Yes. So now we kind of decide we want to go communist or fascist. If you trade with people, obviously we're looking Soviet Union, the German Reich here. I've had luck going communist. Let's start with these. There's a fantastic button here which lets us set the minimum we need. And now we can see, oh, we should, sorry, was I doing that one right? Steel, yeah. They're not delivering yet. Sorry, we need to import it. They should start delivering the steel to us. There we go, we've got a surplus of 2. Basically, we trade our civilian factories away for transporting and producing this steel that we've just imported. So there we go. Happy days. Just sign a commander as well. As Brazil, we don't have many. We have basically this dude and this dude. This dude is actually better. He's rank 5. However, this guy has jungle rat, so he performs better in the jungles. While this guy has the ranger, which is better in forests. There is a difference of the 2. If we have a look at the terrain, we can see that that's plains, forest, and if we move more up towards like the central basin, Amazon basin, here we go, we have jungle here as well. So basically the land that we're going to be conquering down here in Uruguay, we're looking plains, plains, plains. Yeah, it's all plains, so it doesn't really matter. So if we go back to this guy here, we shall assign this guy, basically because it's rank 5, you get a 5% bonus for each rank that you have. So this guy's plus 15%, while this guy would be plus 25%. So that's the one we want. He's going to make all of our units much, much better. If I do remember, yeah, here we go. It's a bit fiddly with the Air Force. It did take me a while to kind of get this one. So basically you want to select an airport. What we can see here is there is a grand total. This Rio Grande Sul can support 400 aeroplanes. So what we want to do is we want to assign aeroplanes. At the moment all of these are based now. We just remove the air wing from there. It'll send them straight to the reserves. We've got 24 fighters. We're not going to be doing much, to be honest. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to send 24 fighters to this airport here, which is going to give us the range we need basically for all of this. So we'll just wait for them to come and get there. I'll just speed the game up a little bit. Probably do it on rank speed 4 to be perfectly honest, but there we go. So now the aeroplanes are actually here, but they haven't actually been assigned anything. So we're going to assign them an air mission, and we're going to give them air superiority. It's not going to do much, to be honest. If I remember correctly, this place doesn't even have an air force. Oh, sorry, I'm still on the air mode. That's it. I'm not an expert at this game anyway. Yeah, we go. Details. You have 2 infantry. Well, sorry, 2 divisions, and yeah, 0 air force. So that's not a problem at all. Okay, let's just kind of like sit back and see what goes on. If we take it up to speed 4. Brazil really is quite a bit of a slow start. You only start with 2 research slots. Yeah. And even down to like recruiting and stuff like that, you know, it takes absolutely ages. However, it is one of the better start American South American. Okay, speaking of South America, if we check all the other ones, you can see the independence is being guaranteed by the United States, and this is the case with every single South America, so even down into Argentina. Now, what this actually means, South American countries can actually declare war on other South American countries without the United States being involved. The United States do actually have a focus, the Pax Americana. Basically, this will let them intervene with our wars. We don't want that. So it's worthwhile keeping that. They're going for WPA at the moment. Where's that? There we are. So they're actually focusing on this one. They're coming down here. That's not too bad. So, that's basically how we're going to start. Do we have a navy? I believe we do. It's very small. Yeah, we do. We have 1 submarine, 2 battleships, and 2 light cruisers, and 8 destroyers. Well, you know, our 1 submarine. Let's get that one and give it a bit of a convoy raiding mission. Oh, I've done that wrong, sorry. I say I'm still learning the game, it's not a pro by any means. So basically what we've done here is we've got our convoy raiding coming on down here. So when we do go to the war with Uruguay, basically we're going to sink any convoy ships, which, you know, it's always good. While we're at it, let's take our Popper fleet and we'll give these search and destroy. Yeah, it's a tight formation. This basically means that all of our ships are going to stay closer together. It's less of a chance to spot the enemy fleet. However, when we do find the enemy fleet, we're all going to be together, as opposed to patrol, which gives us a wide spread. So we've got more chance of finding the enemy ships. But when we do, they're only going to engage like one at a time. Now, if all their fleet is stuck together and we get like one lone destroyer coming to come and find them, you know, it's not going to be the greatest. So yeah, let's stick them on that. And we'll give them exactly the same orders. To be honest, I'm not really expecting much out of here, to be honest. However, it's going to be good when we come across Argentina, for example. And that's kind of it. As I say, it's going to be a particularly slow start with these guys, but, you know, it's just the way things go. Let's have a look. What else can we possibly do? We're just waiting for political effort to go. We're going to be able to reform our government. Once we start getting some points, we need 150 political power basically to change that. This is our manpower, this is our national unity, as I was saying. If 70% of our country gets occupied, or rather 70% of our victory points in our country get occupied, we're going to basically capitulate and we're going to surrender. This is our factory. As you can see, we've got 2 naval dockyards in use, however both of them are getting used. We've got 3 military factories, which is rubbish. But they're all getting used, but we do have 19 civilian factories. Our 19 civilian factories are producing, we've actually got 11 free after trading and such, so this is going to be 11, this is going to be 12, 13, 14, 15, which is basically a full stack. If we started producing more civilian factories after this point, basically it'd be like 15 and 1, so the second one would produce really slowly. I want to get this up as at least up to a full stack of 15, so when we do produce, we can produce quite quickly. This infrastructure down here, it's basically, if you've got a full stack of 15, it takes, is it 1 month or 2 months? Either way, it's ridiculously quick. This is showing that we're going to be building 3 here. Basically, let's say it's a month, basically it'll go down to 2, and then another month it'll drop down to 1, and then we'll complete that one. So Germany has remilitarized the Rhineland. Traditionally, basically as the World War II is about to start, after World War I, the Rhineland, which was this area here, was demilitarized. Basically means Germany can't produce or put troops in it, basically. As such, if France was wanting to invade Germany, they wouldn't have to fight over a lot of crap. They could basically get straight into Germany. We finished political effort. This is fantastic. We just go to details. We can go straight away. And we're going to go, that's basically given us 120 political power. So you'll see we've jumped up to 202. We're going to go straight into there. and we get to reform our government as well. This is kind of where we do need to decide what we're going to do. Let's try, does it say, yeah, we're going communist this time. So yeah, for 150 political power, we're going to get this communist revolutionary. He's going to increase the speed of communism in our country by 0.1.0. Sorry, 0.10. So this is basically giving us increasing the internal support. This is going to give us a faster coup, I believe. However, this is going to increase the population's belief in communism. I've always done it that way. I've never had a coup. It might actually be faster to get to communism, but it's probably going to give us a war. So let's not do that. Let's knock the speed off. How's our research doing? 66 days for machine tools. Basically what we're wanting to do is, I mean, we can beat Uruguay at the moment with just what we've got, maybe a couple more units. To be honest, we can probably do fine with that. But to make it nice and quick, that's what we want to do. We want to basically go down our political path. We want to grab this one here, which is going to take us to communism. Then we can kind of ignore the rest of these, and we want to start rushing, coming down here for our extra research slots. Research makes the world go round. We're not going to get very far with 2 research slots, unfortunately. Anywho, it's more waiting, I'm afraid. But, it's not too bad. See how ships just randomly sailing around there. It's really nice, this game. I'm just going to knock the day-night cycle off. That was my bad. I should have done that before we started. I know from watching other people's Let's Plays and stuff, it's really annoys other people, especially on the higher speeds. And I'd rather not give you guys epileptic seizures. We want to edit our infantry and such like that. I'd really like to get them some support artillery. However, we need experience to do that. Say we need 10 at this point. We also need to actually build the artillery, which we're having trouble with at the moment. However, hopefully we'll get to that, and with a bit of luck we'll have some before we get into Uruguay. But there is actually people that we can do, I believe. Yeah. Was it the military high command? Yeah, take infantry. No, it wasn't him. I'm completely lying. Was it a theorist? Yeah. If we take the theorist, he gives us a bonus to land doctrine. It's so overpowered. Any of the doctrines, you really want to research those ones down. However, this guy also gives us a small buff to our army experience to date. Tiny. However, it should be enough to let us swap into that. All of our guys start at rank 2, or we could actually, I believe we could. Yeah, I believe it's rank 3 you can train up to, and we can actually get these guys to exercise, but it will eat our supplies, as we're not actually producing that many supplies. I mean, we're producing, call it 9 infantry equipment a day, and 1.3 a day support. We don't really want to do that. We want to kind of stockpile this support stuff, because I'm going to be making sweeping changes to our divisions pretty much as soon as possible. So when we want the support, so when we start adding, do we start with engineers? I think we do actually. Yeah, we start with an engineer company. We're wanting to basically add a support artillery at the very least. Excuse me. Nearly done that idea, and we're nearly done with our first set of research for machine tools. So basically, if we go on to here, as you can see, they're capped at 50%. They'll go up to 55%, which, I mean, a boost's a boost, don't get me wrong. It just seems quite small. However, you can get them right up. So there you go, the Spanish Civil War has just kicked off. We can't actually see what's going on. We could offer to send some volunteers and get some experience. However, Germany can quite easily send light tanks, and light tanks are absolutely fantastic for that. They just get through so quick. But yeah, changing that idea. and we'll go communist, as I say. There we go. This will be the last idea that we need to take. Just before we call the end to the episode, I'm going to swap this out for something. Let's see. Concentrated industry. So this is going to basically give us the ability to put more factories down in the estate, and it's going to give us a 20% output for our factories as well. So we're going to be producing stuff just that little bit faster. The opposite is dispersed industry. You still get a buff to your factory output speed, however, 10% rather than 20%. You get production efficiency retention. I'm not 100% certain, but I do believe you lose efficiency when you swap lines. So going from like fighters and you're changing to the new variant of fighter, you'll lose a bit of efficiency. So, that keeps it up. It also gives you bomb vulnerability, so I'm presuming that means you don't get bombed as hard, and you get the 20%. Exactly the same amount of factories in state as well. Either way, it's all good. Anyway, that's 21 minutes, and I'm going to call it an end for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and happy days. I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh.